Okay, Patreon, what have you got for me? Oh, you mean this copy of Ratboy I've got right in my hands? What the hell was that? Do you people know no joy? I mean, you remember when I used to talk about movies that were actually funny, right? I'm not sure what about Ratboy screamed, "Yes, this is the one," but for whatever reason, here I am talking about it. Which isn't to say it doesn't have an interesting history, only the product itself leaves a shit ton to be desired. But I'll get to that at the end. Oh, by the way, I have a new set. What's that doing here?
Let's go! You can do it all by yourself.
We begin with some punks discussing an urban legend about a rat boy. But is it really a legend at all?
Yeah, man, I heard about that rat boy. They say he lives in a dump and takes the world's smallest violin with him wherever he goes. What was that?
Shortly after that, a couple of thugs stumble upon Ratboy's lair of misery. For whatever reason, news of this rat boy really interested the press. The thugs contacted them, telling them they left a note at the dump. "Two random guys left a note about something. Send out the team!" If they contacted them anyway, then why didn't they just tell them whatever's in the note? What's the point of that? The note is eventually found by our main character Nikki, who is trolling the dump for random accessories. As you do. The note leads her to the League of Extraordinarily Cliched Gentlemen. There she is promptly shot and never heard from again. Just kidding. In this movie's world, this is apparently what passes for an endearing lead. She poses as a reporter and manages to get a 10-minute interview with the unholy abomination that is Ratboy.
It can't be all that bad. We all have problems, right? On top of which I've lied about being a reporter. I'm a window dresser. I was out at the dump collecting props for my window. I mean, you can find a lot of great things out there. Then those idiots fired me, and I don't even have a job.
Yeah, I'm sure he feels for your plight, lady. You got fired, and he's a rat boy who lives in a dump and is being held in some cabin against his will by a couple of backwoods rednecks. Same thing, really. So what part were you fired for? Taking off to find some mutant rat child instead of working, or collecting your props from a garbage dump? It's at this point that my mind begins to wander and I think about random other things. Like what possible reason Nikki has for wearing two different kinds of shoes.
See? Oh, like
that. Wow, what a bonding moment. I should take the time to note that this was advertised as a comedy.
1 point for the body, 2 for the head. You need to get ready for it.
Yuck it up, audience!
Where's the TV set?
Maybe you ought to have your picture taken with it.
Hello! There's a car!
Party's over, fellas. Rat boy's mine. Possession of firearms is a violation of your parole. I checked it out. So's kidnapping.
You done got duped. Nikki collaborated this second-hand kidnapping with her two brothers, played by Garrett Graham and Louis Anderson. Louis Anderson? Why is he in this? Why is anyone in this? Because if they're kidnapping him from the kidnappers, it's okay? Whatever. The three of them figure exploiting Ratboy as their way to the top. First, garbage window dressing. Then, mutant kidnapping. Next, the world! Oh god. Can we just not movie? Adding wacky music does not make this a comedy, no matter what your trailer says. Thus begins a series of segments where Nikki tries and fails to get someone to help her exploit Ratboy, each seemingly longer and less funny than the last. It's hard not to think that this was how the studio reacted when Sandra Locke tried to sell this concept to them. Even in this movie's universe, it's impossible for people to care about Ratboy.
Stop it! You want to hurt him? Yeah! Look back! We just tried to give him a bath with bananas!
Well, he's sensitive!
He's weird!
Yeah, it's really tough to get behind anyone in this. I mean, this movie is basically watching a series of assholes verbally and physically attacking someone who is mentally challenged. Hilarious, I know. But it's not even like you can feel that bad for Ratboy. His constant shrieking makes you want to instantly turn off the tape. It's like the film prides itself in its lack of appeal. Oh, and if you think Ratboy is irritating now, wait until you hear him talk.
Ratboy's head hurts. Tell you if he could.
You know the sound two balloons make when you rub them together? That's Ratboy, anytime he opens his mouth. If I could hear a cat being strangled to death right now, it'd be a sweet release. And the sad thing is, that's not even the actress's voice. They dubbed it in that unintelligible. I mean it, you seriously need subtitles to understand this thing, and you don't get those on VHS. He's Chewbacca. The characters only understand him because the script says so. Nikki hires an acting coach to help Ratboy in his rise to stardom.
There are a number of things we can talk about. Diction, timing, movement, etc., etc.
He's a fucking rat! There's only one thing left to do, I guess. Take Ratboy to a raging coat party. Nikki and the others go to schmooze important people and immediately leave their payday unattended, which is both negligent and the same kind of bad business sense that got them into this situation. This is the point where I found my copy of Ratboy left, as whatever poor soul rented this last found themselves too bored to care and not nearly motivated enough to even bother rewinding. It's sad when you can tell exactly what part of the tape is where renters decided to go on with their lives, meaning that most people didn't even make it to the halfway point before giving up. Self-mutilation?
Y'all ready?
He's in a shopping center now, showing you how. Having fun as he aim. Hey, Rat's the name, the video board game.
Rat.
Ratboy gets ditched, gets drunk. Yeah, that's John Lovitz. And proceeds to rappel down the side of a building and wander around the city alone. Why does no one care that he's a rat?
This is the police. Read. You are surrounded.
Single wrong move, and you're gonna get 6 inches of cold steel stuck in your heart. Eternal nothingness.
Man, I hate those rat boys always trespassing on my turf. Boy!
Well, hope you enjoyed this introduction, the most likable character in the film. I say that loosely. That's like trying to pick your favorite surgical procedure. And at almost an hour in, we are just now being introduced to arguably a third main character. And I'm not making this up, he's supposed to be comic relief. He'd only be unintentionally funny if he were more racist.
Damn. Not only are you ugly, but you're unhip.
Damn, you farted, honky. I sure am black.
He calls Nikki for the reward money, and when Nikki realizes Eugene is attracted to more than one type of asshole, says she'll pay the guy to basically be Ratboy's babysitter. Doesn't she know you can't buy Ratboy love? And all you need is love. You gotta come together. In an octopus's garden. I'm a loser. And more suicide attempts, in case you were having too much fun, audience.
Man, I knew you were unhip, man, but I guess I didn't know the half of it.
Suicide is unhip. Slap me some skin, jive turkey.
See, that's what comes from fooling around, man. You gotta knock that shit off.
You understand, homeboy?
Homeboy?
And thus, on that day, black culture was obliterated entirely. Somewhere in the world, a rising upstart by the name of Vanilla Ice stood by the sunset and thought to himself, "Yes, my time has come."
And now, ladies and gentlemen, a series of unfortunate events.
Ratboy waits in an alley for a date Nikki flakes on. It starts to rain. Sad box of chocolates. Ratboy attacks some people. More screaming. There's a press conference. Things go horribly wrong.
Cheese whiz adds personality, personality. Pour it on hot from the microwave. Goes over and over and over and over. Cheese whiz is the one for you. Yes, over and over. It puts zip in everything you do. Cheese whiz adds personality, personality. Hot from the microwave. Cheese whiz adds personality.
You feel bad yet, audience? Comic relief guy takes off with Ratboy, comically ditching him in the middle of nowhere to go have sex.
Okay, we get it.
Nikki tracks him down and apologizes, vowing to take him somewhere where he can be free. But he's still wanted by the police for destroying an auditorium and being a rat boy.
Help us! Help us!
And after that, yet more police show up, thus making that last chase pretty pointless.
Thanks for the detour, movie.
Hey, is that a rat boy? Ratboy manages to swim away and escapes into the wild, presumably dying from an infected wound, starvation, or being eaten by a wild animal. And Nikki moved on with her life, no lessons having been learned this day.
Still awake?
Hard as it is to believe, Ratboy was actually a theatrical film. It's directed by and stars Sandra Locke, who became a well-known actress in the 70s, mostly due to her relationship with frequent co-star Clint Eastwood. Around the mid-80s, she decided to try her hand at directing, and, for whatever reason, the script for Ratboy leapt out at her. Perhaps it was the thrilling idea of doing the Elephant Man, but with a rat. Maybe she really fondly recalled working on Willard. Perhaps it was Wendell himself. All we really know is, Ratboy is a lot like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It started with a terrible foundation, and just sort of went sideways from there. Due to Locke's influence with Clint Eastwood, she was able to make Ratboy for Warner Brothers, but the film didn't receive much distribution. The movie did poorly at the box office, Sandra Locke was nominated as Worst Actress at the Razzies, and to this day, Ratboy hasn't seen a DVD release. She and Clint Eastwood broke up a couple years later, which fractured her relationship with Warner Brothers and basically killed her career.
And while you could blame many outside factors for Ratboy being a flop, no, you really can't. The movie's just bad.
I mean, even if the film had been well done, it wasn't. It just wasn't marketable. It was advertised as a comedy despite not being funny. It was filmed as a drama despite not being sad, and it centered around alienating and unlikable characters. Well, not even unlikable. I found myself stretching to even get to the point of hating these characters. But I couldn't. It is a movie that elicits absolutely no emotions whatsoever, a vacuum of nothingness. And as a final metaphorical middle finger to the audience, it has the balls to end with the song Personality.
Basically, it committed a worse offense by being boring than if I just straight up hated it.
If I can say anything nice about it, I thought Rick Baker's makeup effects were good. Though it's Rick Baker, so that's a given. And I don't think Sandra Locke deserved a Razzie for Worst Actress in this. Her acting was fine, it's just the movie was the problem. There's nothing to be taken away from this. Nothing gets you invested, and it just sort of ends as it began. Everyone is back to where they started. And that's exactly how you feel after watching it.
But hey, at least he's got personality!
Cheese Whiz adds personality, personality. Pour it on hot from the microwave. 'Cause over and over and over and over, Cheese Whiz is the one for you. Yes, over and over. It puts simple in everything you do. Cheese Whiz adds personality, personality. Hot from the microwave. Cheese Whiz adds personality.
What you gonna give me? What you gonna give me? You're too sleepy to get me. You're too sleepy.
Doesn't even want to take it.
Oh, by the way, I have a new set.